The Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship is back on track after only 1 week of break. Zolder, Belgium has been the last race week, and now we are in Le Mans, France. It's super historic, super amazing racetrack, so this is gonna be a nice one. There is a huge battle going on in the Titan class in between Norbert Kisch, 6-time European champion, and Jochen Hahn, 6-time European champion, about the 7th win of a European championship in the truck category. So 77 points are departing the two of them, and 120 points can be gained this weekend and next weekend at Jarama. So let's see how the story goes.
But we fight for the title again, and it's a big playing in the moment. He has 6 titles, I have 6 titles, so the next, it's the best in the moment. But we fight Le Mans, then we go to Jarama, and then we will see which one is the champion.
This weekend is also very nice, very special, because we maybe can win the championship here this weekend. So I am really proud, first of all, very good job from the team from the beginning of the season with the new racetrack that we've built in our workshop. It's working really well. We've been building the gap from the first race weekend, and now we are here in Le Mans, 77-point advantage before the weekend. And I hope we can take some pole positions, take some race victories, and then Sunday hopefully we can close the championship.
Super close fight in Chrome class. Mark Taylor leading with 219 points, followed by Clemens Hecker and Bradley Smith, both just sharing second place with 207 points. And also John Newell is on the run. This will be a super exciting weekend here in Le Mans, France. Vive la France, and see you in a bit. With the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's only 2 more race weekends and 2025 season is already over. So let's really enjoy this one. And it's a huge festival going on here in Le Mans, France. It's the English Championship, it's the French Championship, and the European Championship happening all together under the slogan 24 heures, camion 24 hours, trucks all over Le Mans. Very quick word from you before I let you go into the race.
Yeah, all good so far. We are on pole position, try to win the race and do the best we can.
Your team wishes you good luck, we wish you good luck, see you later on. I think he's very focused now, very concentrated, because of course this might be an historic race for him.
Norbert Kisch once again started the weekend off on pole position, with Sascha Lenz this time alongside him. Sascha had had a fantastic run in qualifying recently and wanted to capitalise on it. Everybody else wanting to capitalise on the first chicane here at Le Mans, all of them running 3 and 4 wide as they had to cut across different parts of the chicane itself. There was big contact in the middle of the pack as Clemens Hecker and Mark Taylor came together. There was a slight moment from Antonio Albacete as well, but he managed to continue on at full pace. It seemed like there was damage on the 25 though, and Clemens Hecker would soon be off and in the gravel, and that sector of the circuit would be covered by yellow flags for the rest of the race. Bradley Smith had a great qualifying on the Saturday morning, and he found himself in 6th position overall, chasing down Steffi Halm. After a difficult time in Chrome recently, Bradley had needed to get the points, and at this stage he was picking his battles, making sure that he didn't get in the way of the Titan drivers and they didn't affect his lead. Mark Taylor and René Reinert had a good battle as well, René unfortunately dropping way down the order in qualifying on Saturday, but he was trying to make up for it. Unfortunately, a bit of contact between the two put Mark Taylor off the road and cost him some valuable Chrome Championship points as well. Another look at the incident here. Norbert Kisch led at the front with Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn behind, with a good bit of daylight between themselves and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. More battles in the Chrome class though, as Luke Garrett and Mark Taylor got friendly once again. This time Simon Reed and Craig Reed involved as well. Craig giving a little bit of a kiss here to Mark Taylor's 81 machine. It was great to have the two Reed brothers back on the grid though, in their lovely shiny Ivecos. René Reinert continued his drive up the order, overtaking Bradley Smith, or at least trying to, on multiple occasions. Bradley, still picking his battles, didn't really want to stop defending from anybody coming through. Jochen Hahn closed in on Sascha Lenz in the later stages of the first race, and everybody was wondering whether we'd see a repeat of what happened at Zolder, where the two had a really good scrap to the end. Into the final laps, Sascha was having to put the truck in the right place at the right time, and he was doing it brilliantly. Norbert Kish took his first race win of the weekend, with Sascha Lenz holding on for second and Jochen Hahn in third place. Sascha very happy after that result, and Jochen Hahn happy to just celebrate another great battle.
More points in the bucket, so how confident are you about the next race? And are you more excited now about the next race, or are you more the cool type?
It's a very good result. Obviously the win is very important. Very good job from Rayways Racing. So big thank you to the guys, because it's working very well this weekend as well. And we will see what we do in the reverse grid race. Like always, if we see some opportunities, for sure we will try to overtake. But we don't have to take so much risk anymore. So I hope it will be fine.
So Norbert Kish putting one hand on the trophy by winning the first race of the weekend ahead of Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn. Bradley Smith taking important points away in the Chrome Championship, with John Newell in second place and Stefan Kirsch getting his first overall top 10 and first ever Chrome Championship podium result.
Race number 2 here in Le Mans France, and I'm not alone. Marcus, the car or the chief mechanic of Mark Taylor, took his time. You can tell everyone is already rolling into the starting grid, but Mark had such a tough first race. He got 4 hits in total. The strongest he got from René Reinert, first of all. Then you kind of didn't see him at all what was going on in the race. Then I saw him back on the racetrack, and later on he had kind of a little fight going on with Greg Reed, who kind of hit his rear rim. That really looked very smashed afterwards. So maybe you can tell me, what is the mood in the team? Because he was leading the Chrome Championship and now he's back on second place. Knowing him, he might fight back because he already had a roller coaster year happening. But tell me what's going on in your team and how is Mark currently?
Mark was a little bit sad because of the DNF again. But now he is on fire to come as much to the front as possible. Yeah, 4 hits in a row in nearly 2 laps was a little bit too much. And yeah, we will see what he can do now.
And to Steffi, who really is strong in the second races of today, always pushing through, always putting her elbows out. So how are you feeling and what's your aim for this race today?
I was very happy that we was able to finish on 5th in the first race, because coming from 12th place it was not so easy, but I think we are fast enough, and for sure I will give everything to finish on the podium.
As ever, we were all really excited for the second race of the day with the reverse grid, and it was Bradley Smith and René Reinert on the front row. Unfortunately though, the race was red flagged after turn 1. This spin and contact from Louis Requenco led to the second retirement of the day for Mark Taylor. Unfortunately, the red flags were out and Mark would take no further part in the race. The fans didn't have to wait for long though, and soon the green flags were waving again and we were ready for the restart. Louis Requenco had initially been ruled out of the race with the damage to the rear bumper, but they got it fixed quickly and he would be able to start from the end of the pit lane once all the other trucks had gone by. Bradley Smith had another decent start, but René Reinert would lead them out of the first chicane. There was further contact behind though, as Jose Eduardo Rodriguez bounced off the side of Antonio Albacete, but luckily the rest of the field was able to avoid him cleanly. As the light was fading though, it was starting to look mighty beautiful here at Le Mans. The whole field had their headlights on in their windscreens, and there was lots of reflections and dying light to look at. Jochen Hahn made this move down the inside of Bradley Smith, but Bradley was still holding his ground against the Titan drivers where he could. Norbert Kish made this lovely opportunistic move to the right-hand side in his pursuit of the top few positions. Sascha Lenz also making his way through into the last couple of corners. Bradley Smith once again trying to keep it tidy in this second race and hold on to as many Chrome Championship points as he could after a tough time back at Zolder. At the front it was René Reinert from Steffi Halm, Jochen Hahn, Norbert Kish and Sascha Lenz, and the 5 trucks were glued together nose to tail for the second half of the race. Jochen was doing his best to get past Steffi, but wanted to do it in a way that didn't compromise him to get overtaken by Norbert Kish, and likewise with him and Sascha Lenz. In the Chrome Championship, it was great fun watching Stefan Kirsch hold on in front of Clemens Hecker, the German trying everything to keep the trucks behind, which included Simon Reed, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Luke Garrett. There was contact here and there and really rough, tough racing, but it was fantastic to watch. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez wanted no part in this after his earlier spin. He just wanted a bit of a clean run back through the order. Once again, Clemens Hecker and Stefan Kirsch went side by side into a chicane, but this time the Scania would stay in front and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Simon Reed would benefit as well. Now in the mix were Craig Reed and Louis Requenco. Simon had a small moment into the final couple of corners which would cost him positions, but we went back to the front of the field to see how Norby was getting on, trying to get past Jochen Hahn. Soon though, more disaster for Louis Requenco, clipping the back of Stefan Kirsch's machine. He would be spun around into the gravel. Luckily he was able to continue and would actually go on to finish the race. Another look here at the incident, the Iveco mounting the rear end of the MAN, and the two of them would drift all the way around the right-hander, eventually becoming detached. A very, very scary incident on both parts. Jochen Hahn was still staring at Norbert Kish in his mirrors with Sascha Lenz behind as well, but at the very front it was René Reinert to take his 3rd race victory of the season with Steffi Halm in 2nd place. René had had a very topsy-turvy time back at Zolder, despite, obviously, a race victory. He'd also wanted to get back on the top step here at Le Mans, and he'd finally done it. While in the Chrome class, it was a fantastic win for John Newell after an over-speeding penalty for Bradley Smith. Clemens Hecker also picked up some important championship points. Louis Requenco eventually finished the race behind Simon Reed, despite the damage done to the truck. Steffi Halm and her team absolutely delighted with another podium result, and René Reinert a cool customer after another race win.
Congratulations, really amazing job from the two of you. In between I was like, Jochen, are you taking over? Steffi, what are you doing? Don't risk anything. What are you about to?
Yeah, you know, in the end we have also a team podium and we play also for the team and we must do it careful and respectful and we do it. She make no error, she have no possibility to overtake René, then it's 1, 2, 3, it's clear.
Yeah, you did a great race. You were about to take over René Reinert a couple of times, weren't you?
Yeah, I was trying, but after I knew where he is a little bit slower, but the corners before I didn't. I was too far away to make a attack that it was fair. So I was always not in the comfort zone to try it, and I don't want to risk the 2nd place.
So René Reinert takes his 3rd race victory of the season in an all-German podium with Steffi Halm and Jochen Hahn just behind. Only the 3rd time this season that we haven't seen Norbert Kish on one of the top 3 steps. John Newell takes a very well-deserved win in Chrome ahead of Bradley Smith and Clemens Hecker, all of them capitalising on another DNF for Mark Taylor. As ever on the Saturday night at Le Mans, we had a fantastic parade of trucks all the way around the circuit, coming from all corners of the globe. There was so many great machines to look at, lights and horns and sounds alike, and all of the fans absolutely loved it, as they so often do here at Le Mans. It's one of the biggest party atmospheres that we experience all season, and it is a joy to come racing here at this legendary circuit and location.
Bonjour de Le Mans, de France, and the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship race day number 2, and the third race of this weekend is about to get started, and it might be a historical one. So everyone who's watching, thank you for being a part of this moment, because we have Norbert Kisch in the front row right next to Jochen Hahn, of course, who really did his best in qualifying, making sure he just stays super close, but in points today Norbert might be the one driving away, which might make him the 7-time European champion in truck racing and the only 7-time European truck champion.
With history on the line for Norbert Kisch, the lights went green and he started the race ahead of Jochen Hahn and Sasha Lenz, with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez once again having a good qualifying. Bradley Smith hadn't had as good a start today, so was hoping to bring back some points in chrome, and it was Louis Requenco that had benefited in the opening corners, moving up into 5th position. He was, however, ruled as cutting the chicane, so would have to give some of the places back, which he would do over the next couple of laps. Norby had made a great start as ever, with Jochen Hahn still in 2nd place. Sasha Lenz was watching his mirrors for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez behind. Requenco had an absolute train of drivers trying to get through, the first of which would be Clemens Hecker, heading down the inside into the final few corners. With Louis on the outside line, Mark Taylor would take advantage, and so too John Newell. A catastrophe for Louis as he lost even more places on the exit. This would now mean that Clemens Hecker, Mark Taylor and John Newell were 1st, 2nd and 3rd in chrome, with Bradley Smith further down the order, which would bring the championship even closer together. A scary moment here for René Reinert, making sure that he definitely avoided the penalty marker on the outside of the circuit. Unfortunately for him though, he would still get a track limits warning as a result. Just in front of him, Steffi Halm was hoping to get more big points like she had on Saturday, chasing down Antonio Albacete. The T-Sport Bernau driver having a very quiet day at the office. Jochen Hahn had a lot of daylight between himself and Sasha Lenz behind, but unfortunately he had the same amount of daylight to Norbert Kisch, who was leading the way on the way to history and 7 European Championship titles. As he rounded the final corner, he knew what he'd done, and Norbert Kisch had once again won the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. 5 titles in a row, 7 titles in total. Jochen Hahn came home in 2nd place, with Sasha Lenz in 3rd, but both of them would be the first drivers to congratulate Norby as he made his way into the pit lane. A very happy boy, and of course he would be. He and the team would celebrate and definitely keep their eyes focused on the fact that there was still another race coming up in the afternoon. But as a result, Norbert Kisch became the greatest truck racing driver in Europe in history.
Congratulations! We knew it, we kind of knew it. The smile was already in the sky of gold, so really good job, very tight job, very steady job. What was in your head when you had the last lap? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
First things first.
Yeah, you know, a lot of things. It's been a long time since I started truck racing, 2011, and in the first couple of years, I said it sometimes already that in the first couple of years I was thinking that maybe we will never win this championship. But in the end, we did win a few times, 1 or 2 times in the beginning, and then, starting with, thank you, starting with Revis Racing, in 2020, and big thank you to the team and Mr. Davis for making this possible, you know, because I mean, there's not a lot of men in Hungary who would, you know, make a team like this, you know, so professional, you know, with so professional guys, building a racetrack like this, bringing the new racetrack, you know, in the beginning of the season, and then dominating the last few years like what we could do, I think is quite unique, and I'm really proud of the guys.
So with one race left to go of the weekend and one race weekend left to go of the year, Norbert Kirsch is a 7-time champion in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship with an unassailable lead over Jochen Hahn and Sascha Lenz. Still plenty more to fight for though in the Titan class and in the Chrome class as we have the remaining races to go. With the gloves off for the final race of the weekend, it was Clemens Hecker and René Reinert on the front row this time. Clemens hoping to retake the championship lead in the Chrome class, while Steffi Halm and Antonio Albacete wanted more points, especially on the part of Antonio, after a relatively quiet weekend here in France. The field was nice and tidy round the first couple of corners, albeit with a little bit of door-to-door argy-bargy. Sascha Lenz being the truck on the outside line, taking the penalty markers and some of the gravel with him. René Reinert got the lead out of the first couple of corners, and Clemens now had to just pick his battles and hold on to as many Chrome Championship points as he could. He was followed by Steffi Halm, Antonio Albacete, Sascha Lenz, Jochen Hahn and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez before Mark Taylor, who would be the next Chrome driver in class. Norbert Kirsch found himself way down the order after a little bit of contact with another driver, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, the driver in question. We would soon though witness an amazing comeback through the order by Norby, overtaking truck after truck, corner after corner. At the front though, they were nearly 3 wide down the start-finish straight, while everybody was reminiscing of the moment that saw Norby drop all the way down and put potential of a race victory out of the window. This was, however, now 7-time champion Norbert Kirsch, so you never knew what he had up his sleeve. He was soon onto the back of Stefan Faas and Luke Garrett, hoping to continue moving forward. This moment by Jochen Hahn cost Sascha Lenz big, as Jose Eduardo Rodriguez managed to come through as well. It was the 3rd time in a couple of weekends that we'd seen Jochen try move and outbrake himself. He then went down the inside of Clemens Hecker with a very different result, getting by the Scania cleanly. He was the first one to get by Clemens, and a number of other drivers wanted to force their way through as well. Antonio Albacete hoping for a podium. Sascha Lenz would soon be through as well, and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez saw an opportunity. Unfortunately though, there was no real opportunity presented, and this big contact would separate the tyre from the rim, and Jose Eduardo would be out of the race. That part of the circuit was covered by yellow flags, so we continued on racing until the end. And so too did René Reinert and Steffi Halm. René ended up getting his 3rd race victory in 5 races, and his 2nd race of the weekend in front of Steffi Halm. Jochen Hahn made it the same podium in race 2 and race 4. Albacete came home in 4th place ahead of Sascha Lenz, while Clemens Hecker took a great victory in Chrome ahead of Mark Taylor, meaning there were now just 2 points between the top 4 in their class. René Reinert and the team would be very happy after a repeat podium of what we saw on Saturday night.
Two wins in one Le Mans weekend. I think that's a very nice result and a lot of gold to take home. Are you happy?
Unbelievable, yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I heard yesterday. This race is my 250th race. So the win, the 250th race is it's super. It's perfect.
You did a very steady job up there. Like you were gone for a while. It was like, how did you feel? How does it feel when everyone is so far?
I was happy that I could overtake Clemens so fast, and then I saw already a gap, but Clemens was also fast in the first 2 laps. But Steffi, she is unbelievable fast here, you know, and then she overtake Clemens, and I saw she come closer and tried to attack me. So this track is not easy to drive, you know, it's make a small mistake and then on the brakes or something and you are out and lose maybe 3, 4, 5 positions.
So René Reinert takes 2 wins from 4 races here at Le Mans and 3 wins from 5, including his triumph at Zolder. Steffi Halm and Jochen Hahn complete another all-German podium, while Antonio Albasetti's 4th place was the best result of his weekend. Leading to Harama, Norbert Kisch has an unassailable lead at the top, and Jochen Hahn looks very comfortable in 2nd. But the fights for the remaining places are well and truly on, and we look forward to seeing what the drivers make of the Spanish round of the championship, especially over in Chrome with just 2 points between the top 4. It's bound to be one of the most exciting season finales we have ever seen, and we hope you all join us for the action there and enjoy it alongside us at Harama.